thank you, everybody. I think we're going to move on to the agenda now at this point, and I can find it here. First thing we're going to talk about is our 5-year capital project update. Is that going to be that for it, or is it go off?
Can't hear you.
Keep talking, so we're trying to adjust the levels.
I think that's it.
Sometimes your phone is not delivering this.
Can you hear it? Talk. It's making noise.
Test.
Hello? Hello? Are we live now? Yep. Before we get into the 5-year plan,
Can't hear you.
on the 2018 projects,
Closer.
Can't hear you.
The mic closer. The mic closer. Closer.
Can't hear you.
hello? Okay. The 2000, just a quick update on the 2014 summer projects. They are currently out to bid. We had our mandatory pre-bid meetings last, I guess, Friday the 7th. They got moved to one of the many snowstorms. We did have a very generous amount of contractors, so we're anticipating very competitive bids, which will be due next Monday, the 24th. We hope to have the recommendations ready for the March board. The District Support Center is currently in design, and that we are still anticipating our original date to go out at the end of March, to go out to bid. Any changes to that will bring to the board's attention. Included in your packet tonight was the 5-year plan, which includes the 2014. Now, this was an extension of the original 3-year plan from last year. I think to save time, we're not going to go through item by item. I'll give you a quick overview of each one of the years. 2014, which were already approved projects, are currently out to bid, so that list does not change. The 2015 is the same as it was on the 3-year plan. We have some roofing, some operations, building repairs. The technology budget is still in there from Kathy, and we have the stadium upgrades, depending on what the outcome of the meeting will depend on which field that money is allocated to. The 2016 year, we inserted this into the 3-year plan, so we actually pushed 2016 projects to 17, and this includes some of the security upgrades that were discussed a couple board meetings ago. We have the district-wide security upgrades, district-wide phone system upgrade, security fencing for playgrounds, and some mechanical at both Dywar and Pennridge for the 2016 year. For the 2017 year, which in the original 3-year plan was 2016, it's filled with paving corrections at most of the sites in the district, from grass all the way through to, I guess, down at Central Middle School. And we also have, Kathy still has the technology budget. The 2018, we put this part of the plan together, take it out to the 5 years for budgeting purposes for the board. This one is mainly roof repairs, replacements, and masonry repairs. at most of the districts throughout the district.
Can you speak into the
We do have-
microphone,
What
please?
we have done is we tried to keep a consistent amount per year. In the past, it has been around the $5 million a year for the capital projects, and we managed to keep it around 4, other than this 2014 since the district support center was added. So we do have, for your budgeting purposes, for the 2014 to 2018 capital plans, of a total of $21 million. Now, in the past, that number has changed depending on if something becomes more severe before we actually get to it. So this is an evolving list, but this should help you with a number for discussion on your budget. Also included in your packet is the summary sheet from 2013, which all the projects are closed out except for the air conditioning project at South Middle School, which will finish up in the spring when we can turn on the new equipment and test the air conditioning. So that will go in your binder as well as the 2013 summary. And that's it for the update, unless anyone wants to go into some detailed questions about the plan.
Is the final cost column, that's what it is out?
Correct. There are subtotals on each page for the year, and then on the last page is a total for the 5-year plan.
Any board members have any questions on the 2013 budget? Any comments on the 5-year plan from anybody? On the board? Mrs. Garland?
Mr. Casper, also included in the board members' packets, there's a new cover sheet for your book. It changes the date from the 2012 version to the 2014. So the cover, the 5-year plan, and the summary are all there for you to insert into your books. And there are also 4 new books, 3 for the new board members and 1 for Dr. Radigan for her use. Okay.
When is that getting turned over? The air.
Spring, this upcoming spring, April, May, we'll be doing finishing up the equipment and testing for the air conditioning system.
The spring's been postponed to June this year.
I had a question about the technology upgrade. So which technology is included in the capital plan? Because we have technology upgrades in
The technology Kathy can speak to, but Kathy had put in a recurring budget every year. We did not include those in the 2 additional years that we added to the 5-year plan, but they are in the original 3-year plan. So I guess as needed, that can be either moved per year to wherever the needs are used or not used at all. That, I guess, will be at the discretion of the board and Kathy.
The technology allocation would be for any infrastructure. This is the infrastructure side of the technology. This would not be used for computers and laptops. This is strictly infrastructure. Right now, we did the server room last year and did a large upgrade to that area. So we're good for a while in the server room area, where we may need to add a few things in regards to a backup plan, backup and recovery plan, as well as some additional wireless items in some of the elementary buildings as we expand the wireless capabilities there. Again, Mr. Tirado will be dealing with that at a future technology meeting in April.
It doesn't seem to be in every year.
No, because again, we did the large amount last year, 2 years ago. So we will have a few years of not investing those large dollars. We will want to start budgeting, down the road for that replacement eventually, but we're good for 2 years.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else?
I guess depending on what we discussed tonight with the popular stadium, that would have to be moved up, right? Because,
Well, in this presentation, it's showing in 2015, I think. But obviously, since we're talking about it in 2014, if we got to the point where we reached a decision and had enough votes to move forward in whatever direction that turns out to be, obviously that money would have to come from somewhere, and then it wouldn't reappear in 2015. So I don't know if that's a good point, but I don't think we've gotten the last piece of the comments of where the money is going to come from.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I noticed that it was in 15. It's part of the 15. It's part of this 15 budget. If we're going to have to,
We had to put it in somewhere. What year it actually happens, we can move to the year that we plan on doing the work, or whatever, and we can just.
and it's been moved before.
What's that?
It's been moved before, from my record.
Typically, what happens is every October when we review the plan, we have to do an update to make sure that any of the conditions of the buildings haven't gotten to a point where they need to be moved up in priority on the list. So at any point, we can move between the years, depending on what the needs are, for maintenance, repair, and replacement.
But depending on what's done, I mean, not everything, I mean, we'll get into that discussion, but I mean, there needs to be time for bids and all that stuff. It's a long process.
Well, if I could comment, one of the other items we're going to have to discuss is how we're going to pay for anything beyond the current year. We have exalted this year, the plans that are out there currently for 2014 summer projects have exhausted our capital projects dollars. So anything beyond what we've already committed, the board will have to have a discussion as to where those funds are coming from. You will have options. Obviously, borrowing money is one option. You have money sitting in a PESER's reserve. That money is committed. That money can be uncommitted, in the same fashion that the board committed. That's a board's decision. So you would have those funds if you wanted to use those funds for a capital project rather than for an ongoing regular expenditure. Those are things that the board will have to discuss with any decision that we make to spend any additional money for capital moving forward. Beyond 2014, beyond the projects that are out to bid, beyond the district education center that's already out to bid.
Okay. All right, well, thank you, Mike. I think the next thing on our agenda is the actual discussion, and we're going to give us, Jeff, you're going to give a presentation. I just wanted to say, coming back to where we started with Pop Yoder, I don't want to keep referring to it as a Pop Yoder deal. There hasn't been any decisions made, obviously. It's hard to sit up here and listen to the emotions of it. Certainly we take that into consideration as we try to make a decision. And I just wanted to say some of the things that we hear, a lot of times there's things out there that aren't really spot on what or why. So hopefully with Jeff's presentation, we'll see some of that what and why and how we got to this point tonight. To many people, this just popped onto the scene and it comes as a surprise, as McGilly mentioned. I don't remember this happening. And it's a tricky subject because things have occurred where now that our district is made aware of certain conditions, that it's not as simple as let's just keep playing ball. I wish it was. So you'll hear about that in the next few minutes, and then we're going to have to talk about a lot of things. And with that. thank you for all the things you said. I'm with you guys, I get it. So, yep, on you. Oh, yeah?
So we're going to skip this session.